Hi, so my name is Farah. I live in Falkirk and I am a board member of a charity which I found with my sister called Al Masar, which is an Arabic word meaning path to progression. So understandably, because we were very restricted with our face-to-face contact, a lot of our activities were done online or over the phone. In a couple of extreme circumstances, I went and visited some people. What we primarily did was we understood that we have certain service users who are more isolated than others, and it's not just the fact that they're isolated, but these are known families who are also vulnerable, who are on low income. So what we did was, it was through the Cora Foundation, we got a grant and put together an activity pack for children, but we also did colouring in book for adults, so that mum's got something to do as well, just to kind of help with her mental health. And then the things that we provided for the kids, it was primarily arts and craft kits, and something that, you know, that will be focused on skills development. So rather than just something very simple, I put quite a lot of thought into what it is that we want to give that will actually help children, especially if they're having difficulty with home learning, because that was my experience with my own children. So we did that, and then again we did do the face-to-face support over Zooms, and we found that to be quite good. Otherwise it was just like a wee quick phone call with our known vulnerable and isolated families. I believe community holds a lot of power, and I think to be able to actually get into the community and ask those questions from a research point of view would be very interesting, to sort of get people's ideas and thoughts on what it actually means to be actively involved within the community. Sometimes there's the good things and there's the bad things as well with it. But I want to kind of hone on and encourage more people to come forward and be active members of the community. And I thought by doing this research, I'll be able to draw out the positive experiences to try and engage our own service users and our own membership to become more actively involved within our local communities. People, they were very keen to help at the beginning, but I think at some point the kind of momentum dropped. We found that there was a lot of service users of Al Masar, because they are families and they've got dependent children, they were very restricted to what they could do. So that was the kind of unfortunate part of it. But however, we did manage to sort of find out other ways that they could help. So it was actually really good to sort of know what kind of skill sets our service users have, and we managed to kind of get more engagement as well in that way. There was a traditional pool of volunteers that we do have that we tended to call upon, but what I felt was really helpful in this time was that the fact that people were approaching us to say that we want to volunteer, we want to help people who are in a difficult position, so can you please let us know if there's anything that needs to be done. And that was welcome. I think what COVID has done is brought out and highlighted the most vulnerable and the most severely impacted from COVID. But I think it's also highlighted how people come together, members of the community come together, and the fact that it's very understanding when somebody is more understanding, especially for things like mental health, when someone is going through a tough time, and a lot of that is because of being stuck in lockdown or being stuck with restrictions. So I kind of feel there is a bit more awareness and acceptance of mental health. And again, we want to draw out on the positives, that to help mental health, that's how we come together, but in other creative ways like this online platform. And I think it's also helped to see how willing people are to want to help their neighbours. Maybe they wouldn't have done so in the past, but I think it has definitely brought out a level of humanity and togetherness that we've never actually seen before, which is really warming. The research will obviously show, like, you know, what people done to help others. I think reaction time is very important. For example, that we knew that there was a lockdown coming, but I felt that there could have been a better proactive, not a pro, a better approach and a quicker way to try and help people before things got a lot worse for them, especially when it came to like mental health. So forward planning, I think, is very essential in that, and I really hope that that is what this community research will show. And I think it's something that we always take for granted, as well as like having a contingency plan, that should something so unexpected come up, how would we work together? How would we effectively mobilise as a community? And what support would we have as a community to help our neighbours, to help our friends, so that, you know, to help mitigate the long-term effects of obviously this is a pandemic, but later on down the line, you know, we're looking at things like austerity, as well as an impact. So this isn't just an issue for right now, it's about forward planning over the next couple of years, for the next few years actually. And I think we can learn quite a lot from how things were dealt, how situations were dealt with, and, you know, take that experience forward.